everybody, and welcome to spiritualonline.org. My name is Roger Richards. We've got a wonderful meditation brought to us from a celestial being who the ancient Egyptians would recognize as being from the planetary system, the star system of Sirius. And what is given to us in this session is a modality for healing, self-healing, given that we live in the frequency of Earth, and our higher self or our self has come from the spiritual world, which is a much higher frequency, and how we can bring the two together and awaken ourselves to a life purpose. And the celestial visitor or guest who has given this picture to us has also given us some very powerful words on our future, our life purpose, and our destiny. That really puts a lot of things in our daily life into their proper perspective, which in itself is very reassuring. So I'll hand over now to the live recorded session. Okay, cheers. Okay, so we're closing our eyes, and as we breathe, we're not going to just breathe. We do that anyway, but it's more conscious breathing. And what I'd like you to do initially is just breathe in through your nose. Now, initially imagine that you're drawing the air into the middle of your head, right into the middle of your head. And there's a reason for this in a moment. And for those of you who can multitask, which some of us blokes have a bit of an issue with, but actually draw the air in, so you're actually really filling up your diaphragm as well. So physically filling up your diaphragm, breathing quite deeply, but imagine that the light within the air is coming into the middle of your head. So a long breath in, and actually hold my breath for a few seconds. Holding my breath, letting the light permeate my head. My diaphragm full, and then on the out breath, just relaxing. And usually with the out breath, it takes a little bit longer to really empty your lungs and get the last dead air out of your system. So really push the last little bit of air out. And then breathing in light once more into the center of your head, holding your breath for a few moments. And then on the out breath, really letting it all out. Just get the last little reservoir of air out, and make sure that what you're breathing in and what your lungs are full of is very enlivened with spiritually charged air. So the air that we breathe is always infused with spiritual connection, but consciously we do not activate it. And we are part of a divine matrix of the cosmos, of an intelligent, responsive universe, but sometimes we do not respond to it, and we're not aware of its response to us. But through our breath, we can start reconnecting on that level. So Nathan, who's just joined us, we're just focusing on our breath and drawing the breath symbolically into the center of our head, imaginatively, whilst filling up our diaphragm right down deep, holding our breath for a moment, letting the light permeate our head symbolically, and then releasing and really emptying our diaphragm and lungs. So we're letting go of the earthly breathing and the earthly vibration, and on the in-breath we're taking in the light, the spiritually charged vibration. And this is part of what we want to do, just connecting on a spiritual level now and relinquishing what has been holding us down, the heavier vibrations of Earth. Now keep your breath going. Make sure it's relaxed though, don't labor it too much, but just keep your breath going. And now I'm going to open up the group formally to protect the space and to set some intentions. So great divine spirit, we ask that you shine your light, your love, your protection and presence upon our group at this time. May we be united on the soul and spiritual planes so that we may bring pure impulses to one another that will serve our highest good. We give acknowledgement to the presence of the angels, archangels, other divine, spiritual and celestial beings who either work with us directly or behind the scenes to actually hold the whole dynamic of this group together. Now, each of you can also set an intention for this session. So just think of something that you'd like to get out of this session for yourself. Try and keep a picture more of your higher self rather than perhaps any lower things, but will help out. And like I said, the universe is intelligent, it is responsive, and will help bring back down the response that will help you during this session. Now, I will set an intention on behalf of the group, but you can certainly hold on to your personal one, okay? Great Divine Spirit, we come here to connect with the spiritual, with the divine, with the higher self, our own higher self, so that we may lead and live our lives in more harmony, in more connection to one another, that we may clear our karma, learn our life lessons more readily, set up good karma, and in turn bring more love, light, compassion and goodness to the world. Some of us come here for knowledge, some for spiritual connection, some for social connection, some for healing, some for guidance, but whatever it is, each of us receives something that will help us on our pathway at this time. Now, where you sit, you are sitting in a place where you are anticipating to connect with your angelic beings, with your spiritual guides, with the divine, with God, whatever terms that you would like to use. And in doing so, you must, or you should, prepare the space around you accordingly, so that connection can be made in a pure state. So around you, I'd like you to imagine just extending beyond your auric field is a field of light, beautiful, pure, shimmering light. And you can project this, manifest it within your mind on the mental sphere around you. And into this space, you are projecting a sense of a place that is sacred, that is holy, and within your own astral body, with your own feelings, you are bringing yourself into a state of reverence that you have just entered into a holy, sacred temple, conducive to communing with divine spiritual beings, the angels, the archangels, your guides, and even those above that level. Now, one other thing that you can do is that we each also have like a gatekeeper, and we can also ask our gatekeeper to protect the space, our sacred space in which we sit. And we ask that any spiritual impulse or pictures or feelings or thoughts that come to us, may they come to us only from a divine source that serves only our highest good. And you can use slightly different words if you like whenever you sit, but that's the general idea. Now, to help us connect, we go through a chakra opening exercise. Now, the words that I say aren't necessarily that important. It's more the feeling and your concentration during this. So above your head is your crown chakra, and I'd like you to imagine it's like a portal. It's not a linear vertical transmission, it is a portal. And through this portal, we can receive dreams, pictures, impulses, intuition, thoughts, feelings from a higher place. And this can come down through the top of our head and actually work right down through our physical body. Imagine it's a gentle, amethyst, silvery, sparkly frequency. And it travels right down through our feet, deep down into Mother Earth, and connects us with Mother Earth. And it travels right down. It's like we're a conduit for Mother Earth as well. And her own frequency comes back up through our arches of our feet completing the circuit, connecting us, because we are spiritual beings and we're also living within a physical earth body. And so we are bringing the connection together between the two polar opposites. And here in the middle, where the two meet, is your own higher divine aspect blending with your earthly consciousness. Now, before your forehead, your third eye, and this is usually a beautiful deep blue vibration. As you breathe in, imagine that you are drawing in psychic impressions from the environment around you so that you may see things in their full truth and clarity. And as you think, so you activate. And you can activate a deeper knowing that when things are brought to you, you can see them for what they truly are. Not just the headlines, not just the cover, not just the sugarcoating. Good one for you, Jan. So just being very clear in our thoughts, activating that sense, moving down to our throat chakra now. And a beautiful turquoise portal opening. It's always there. But now we're sort of asking with the intention that our words be infused with spiritual wisdom, with deeper truths that will not only serve our own higher intentions, but will also help everyone around us whom we share these words to, mindful words. And being able to express them. And now down to our heart chakra. And it's very important for us at this time to develop this realm. So imagine, there's a number of ways of doing this, but just being given a picture that in the sacred space in which you sit, I want you to imagine the sun rising within this space. Just hold a picture within your head of the rising sun. And you consider the warmth, the power, the divine frequencies and wisdom that are within what is beamed from the sun, transmitted from the sun. And then the love that has gone into creating and manifesting that. So imagine that you're receiving this love, this sacrifice, this giving, this offering from the divine that we may actually live here. And also streaming into this love frequency is also the thoughts of your angels, your spiritual guides, people in your soul group who are traveling with you, not only here on earth, but still in the spiritual world who you miss, and they're watching over you. And just feel all this love being immersed around you. It's always there, but now we are tapping into it. And just in your heart chakra, you can imagine that this frequency is freely flowing into your being, flowing into your heart, into your physical heart, into your physical sun that is within you, your heart being like the warmth giver in your body. And your heart is then sending its own love with this back right through your blood, warming your whole body with love, replacing all the fear and the doubt and everything else that has been put into your being. Your powerful sun is now radiating these frequencies of love, of connection, of you being worthwhile, and of you being part of a divine, wonderful, responsive, intelligent universe. Allow and imagine these forces breathing, living, flowing within you, so that the whole of you now can gleam like the power of the sun. And this is the power of your soul within you, activating and shining. And as the sun, your own inner sun rises, imagine the clouds now, which is all the heaviness of the earth, of your life, now just the rain falling and the clouds dispersing. And now your sun being fully radiant. And now we're going to take one more step. We're going to go down to our solar plexus, a beautiful yellow frequency. It's a doorway. And in through this doorway walks the higher you. And your soul is ready like a vessel, like a ship, more prepared to hold more of your higher aspect. And I'd like you to imagine part of you that's standing before you in radiance, a higher divine version of you that up until this point has found it a little difficult to enter into the frequencies of the lower earth. But now you have prepared it, and there's part of you now walking into your sacred space, standing just before this portal. And now just imagine like a transmission, like almost like a magnetic energy of yourself transmitting to yourself through this portal and standing with you. And within yourself, your own radiance, your own sense of becoming, your own authenticity, your courage to be you, the full you is now standing within your inner soul, which is the vehicle that houses your divine spirit. And now there is like a ripple right through your sun, right through your soul, and it is you, your consciousness, your divine consciousness entering in to your being more fully. Now we go down one more step to our sacral chakra. Beautiful bright orange. And here we're opening up the doors of emotion, of all the emotions of the world, of one another, of our loved ones, so that we may understand the world, we may understand other people who are in the world, and in return, our soul and our love and our spirit is strong enough to help heal it, to help connect with it, and to help other people on their pathway as well. And sometimes, as we've talked about on here, all you have to do is be. All you have to do is shine, and you can help many people. And we go down to our base chakra now. And in the spiritual sphere, there's like an etheric realm which sustains and feeds the forests and the natural kingdom, and also provides the life force to our souls, the mysterious life force. So imagine this life force streaming like a vital, bright, vibrant red energy through your base chakra. Imagine that you are tapping into this life force and this renewed vitality, streaming freely through your base chakra up through the spinal column, and then traveling like through the branches of a tree to all the little leaves, to the berries, to the flowers, to the fruits, and reanimating your physicality and reanimating your etheric body, which is your life body, your chi. Now, just for a moment, just keep your eyes closed. Now, just imagine that we are working with our spiritual guides, and we're asking them, with your permission, if they can help harmonize the energy field around you, clear any blockages, remove any hindrances from your emotional state, and just be in this state of healing just for a minute or two. Now, I'd like each of you to ask yourselves a question. Well, it's actually your question that you're going to ask the universe. So choose any question that you may have, particularly one that affects you personally. Now, what I'd like you to do is now, once you've asked the question, just let the question go. But now, like, scan around your auric field and look for a point that could be like a doorway for the answer to come through. Is it before you? Is it behind you? Is it beside you? Above? Below? But just see if you can think or perceive a little doorway through which the answer would come. Now, if you're not able to do that, we'll take another little step. But if you are able to do that, just imagine that you are opening up that portal. You're literally opening up a door. Now, if you weren't quite able to do that, everyone else, just imagine that you are, where even though you are seated, that your higher self is now standing up. That is part of you that is standing up before you. And it is just going to step through the portal of your solar plexus chakra. And you're just going to take a step through that portal, just a meter or so in front of you, and stand there. You're standing there with your higher self. And you can stand so that you are immersed in each other, or you can place your hands together and just ask your higher self to transmit to you that which you would like to know. And you can imagine a ray of light from above the head of your higher self, traveling right up through the higher portals of consciousness into the broader universe. Now let go of the answer, but just experience the feeling and the vibration. Forget the answer that you were asking for. Just now experience what's coming to you. And just stay connected. Now, people who just open up the portal, I'd like you also to step forward now through your solar plexus chakra and stand with your higher self. Embrace them, or hands together, or immerse yourself. And I feel that I've got a spiritual guide who wants to connect with me and to speak with us whilst you are in that symbolic position. If you're new to meditating, just imagine, just use your imagination that you are standing with your higher self, and that not all of you is here present incarnated consciousness in your earth body. It is standing just before you, and you can reach. Okay, my friends, I feel we have a divine celestial traveler with us from another place. And what you are experiencing at the moment has been given to us because this is a healing practice that goes back into antiquity from another place. This is something that was understood here in ancient Egypt, but the practice is somewhat lost. Now, what we are practicing here, my friends, you are connecting with your higher self. At first, the connection may seem somewhat tenuous or somewhat imaginative, but as you practice and repeat this kind of exercise, you will suddenly realize the empowerment that it can bring you and how very real this is as your awareness of subtle energy bodies becomes more profound. Now, what you have entered into with your higher self is your true cosmic body. Between your lives, your soul travels to many places in the cosmos, travels to the energy systems of many worlds and many places, and brings into your higher self qualities which can serve you for an eternal lifetime. Your lifetime is eternal. It is that your consciousness in a physical body is somewhat more transitory. And even when we say a lifetime, well, even within your own day, you are asleep for a third of it. And so you are literally dead for a third of it because your consciousness is elsewhere. And so with your higher self, you have traveled. It is living, it is breathing, it is conscious elsewhere. But now it is coming to you and standing with you. And as you connect with it, it holds the memory, it holds the activation of everything that your body, your earth body requires in terms of reconnection, in terms of physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and the harmonization of your whole being. And as you learn to stand and re-immerse yourself into the spiritual blueprint of who you can potentially become, you may re-energize yourself and heal yourself more, or become more full within yourself. And as you study the journey of the spirit and the soul from the higher worlds, where the frequency is literally higher and finer, into the relative density and complexity of the earth sphere, you will suddenly realize that there is a refinement process and there is somewhat of a dilution of your high spirit in coming to earth. And this is your opportunity to work back against the dilution and become more empowered within yourself. It is a step by step by step by step process. But nonetheless, it is a one where 1,000 steps can take you a kilometer. And a number of kilometers can take you from one city to another, from one place to another. And when you continue to take steps in every day of your life, your steps will lead fluidly and continuously from one lifetime to another to another. And so the transcending of what is otherwise referred to as death will become more apparent to you. And the continuity of consciousness, and then the capacity to work within that becomes more apparent, more potent, and more fluid within your life, within your consciousness, within your thoughts, within your feelings, within your digestive systems, within your nervous systems, within your muscular systems, within your bloodstream, and every molecule within your physical body. So eventually you will become the co-creator and the master of the incarnation of your spirit, of your higher self, within the heavier, deeper realms of earth. And you will have what has therefore been decreed as your destiny, as having dominion over the realms of earth. And not only will you have the dominions over the realms of earth and the spheres above earth, because of your free will and because of choices that you can or could make to work in harmony with the divine, you'll therefore have dominion over many layers of the spiritual world through the exercising of the power of free will. And you have the capacity to go and transcend worlds which other spiritual beings cannot do. But not all spiritual beings, even the highest, find it quite difficult to manifest within the realms of earth and other deep frequency worlds equivalent to it. Whereas you are creating a form, a spiritual form and structure where you can do these things, and you can work deeper, more deeply within to the recesses and boundaries of creation of the divine universe, and go and to places and create in places where angels cannot tread, literally cannot tread. And so this is the future. This is your future. And as you hold the potential of your future, now hold the potential of your destiny before you, you'll quickly find that many of your life's challenges will quickly dissolve and dissipate. You will meet them, you'll navigate them, you'll sustain yourself on earth because it is part of reaching your destiny. But it is your destiny which will shine more brightly. It is what will carry you through the waves, through the turbulence and the tribulations of your daily lives here on the earth plane. So we will leave you with those thoughts, my friends, and happy connecting with your higher self. Have gratitude that you can do such a practice. And it is a practice now that you are conscious of, and you can renew and reconnect anytime, any place, any day. And each step of the way will be a step higher and a step closer to your destiny of dominion over the worlds. Many blessings to you all. And just as we close that connection, just for curiosity for people, our celestial being has identified himself as being connected to the star system of Sirius, which is also very symbolic and relevant for the ancient Egyptian people, and even for contemporary mystical thinking Egyptians of today, and not just Egyptians, but everyone who follows that path. Okay, that's probably enough on that. Okay, so we just take another minute just to now breathe in consciously the vibration that's around you. I want you to imagine that you are breathing now the whole essence that's in your sacred space, breathing it into your physical body now, embodying what has been brought to you. And you can do this imaginatively, or some of you can actually sense it. But imagine this frequency. You can even take it right into your stomach and feel that your body is metabolizing it. Some of you can take it into your lungs and imagine that through your breath it is traveling through. Some of you can take it into your throat chakra, some into your mind. But just allow it to absorb deeply within you, in your physical body. Some of you will feel the pressure on your third eye as other frequencies are coming through. If you have a physical issue in your body, imagine that part of your body is absorbing what is coming to you. If you have a physical issue in your body, imagine also that your feeling realm is likewise receiving what it needs, or your subconscious mind is receiving what it needs to assist with the healing of the physical. And sometimes your affliction could relate to a past life. And what we can do, we may not be able to do it all now, but the doorways and the possibilities of healing and progressing through this are now being stirred, and they will come towards us over the coming days if needed, or the coming weeks if needed, and when needed. And doorways will appear for you to open and walk through as needed. Okay, now just be aware of your fingers and toes once more. Give them a little wriggle and a wrangle. Your arms and shoulders and your neck and head. 1 or 2 deep conscious breaths, and then when you're comfortable, just slowly open your eyes. Have a sip of water.
It was interesting when you told the celestial being to go, to go on his way. I saw like a shooting, it was like a shooting star, but it was purple, like a shooting purple light. Like the instant you said, okay, you were releasing it, I literally saw like that light just release. It was beautiful.
Mm.
And it's interesting you're talking about the higher self, because this week I have felt my higher self more than ever. Like I went on a run this week and it was just talking to me. Like if I was channeling and I'm going, wow, am I really hearing this? That I had to, like, I was listening to stuff on my headphones and I wasn't even listening to what I was listening to my headphones because I was listening to my higher self. And
Mm.
it's just like my questions, it was being answered. It was quite amazing. And it's interesting that the meditation tonight was about the higher self.
But what happens, it's not a coincidence, because in these sessions, it's like a collective of our spiritual people actually talk behind our backs naughty things, and then they'll bring through whatever it is. So there is definitely a synchronicity, a planned synchronicity that's going on. I'll just click you back on, Ronnie, because I've got a question for you anyway.
Yes, I'm here.
So
Sorry about that.
oh, that's all right. It's New York.
It was a truck. It's a New York.
Yeah. So from where I sit, it's like you've gone from almost from 0 to 100 within a couple of months with your spiritual practices, or has there been a build up going way back with you?
It's been a couple of years. I've been working within myself for a few years now, and that's why I was finding that there was nobody that I can talk to about what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Just this awakening was occurring, and it's like if I did share, it was something that I felt like people were gonna say, "Oh, she's going crazy. It's all in her head." But because I was just doing these deep meditations within myself and I started seeing things and feeling things, and I'm going, okay, this is going somewhere.
Mm.
And that's why when I discovered you and found the group, it's been so helpful to elevate me to where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like every one of you is so helpful in my growth. It's incredible.
Okay. Oh, that's good. And look, Ronnie, we've been looking for you too, because I might just give you a tap on the shoulder, a random tap on the shoulder. You got your camera on. Fair game. And you're allowed to say pass on here too, by the way.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, like I'm pretty new to this. I've been meditating for a little while. But basically I felt like a pressure over my third eye, and some tingling vibration feelings, as well as I think some faces of my spiritual guides. Yeah, so I'm still trying to connect fully. I do feel I've got some blockages as well. But and sort of, some self-talk in the background that happens when I'm trying to connect in meditation and things like that. So I think just trying to get those thoughts out of the way, to try and get that connection stronger. So it is, still learning and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Well, one of the things to help with the concentration is that when we are given a topic each week, to really work hard on that. Now, I know that not everyone does that. So I can see the screen, I can see people drifting around and some people doing other things during it. But if you can focus on it, it might be hard then, but then it'll open up for you deeper in the sessions. And again, it's just step by step. Now, with Ronnie's done a lot of background work over the last few years that have probably led to what appears to be like quite a sudden flourish and an opening as well. And I sort of went on a similar kind of trajectory. You get a little blip every now and then just as a reminder that it's all there, ready to happen. But yeah, just gradually builds up. And look, I'd still say, in the scheme of things, I'm still a babe in the woods with all this too. Who knows what the potential is with this? Yeah. Okay, Scott, how you going?
Good, Roger. Yeah, the meditation was actually really, really good for me today. I'm not sure what it was about today, but from the minute I woke up, I've just been feeling like a lot of anxiety and just restlessness today, more than usual. And it was actually really, really bad right before the meeting too. Just work stuff and just a little bit of everything. And about 15-20 minutes into the meditation, I was able to get to a very peaceful, quiet place, which was very important for me today because it's been a really rough day with a lot of anxiety, and just feel like a different person now than I did when I logged into this meeting. So very, very good experience for me. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Just out of interest, Scott, did you have any success with like asking a question and finding a doorway or a portal? Just wondering how that went.
I actually did not, but I just felt like a lot. I just was in a really peaceful place, but I did not have any luck with that. But I just overall just felt a very strong sense of peace and calm, which again is something I've been struggling with all day because I just have not had that at all today.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. All right. Let's see who we got. I haven't heard from Twana. Twana, anything you'd like to add to the discussion, even if it's a question or a pass?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything exciting. The question you asked him, I did find the doorway. As soon as you said, find something, I felt a tingling in my arm. So I figured that was my little point. So I did that. I went through, I got an answer for the question I had, but after that I sort of blanked out. Like I've been running around, so I feel like I'm tired. So I got the answer. I was like, okay, that's not what I wanted. Then I sort of blanked out until you said come back. So that's it. That was my experience.
When I first started sitting in a development circle like this, I used to go with a question, and I didn't get the answer I wanted the day I went. I went back next week and got the same answer that I didn't want. And when I got the same answer I didn't want the third time, I decided, hang on, maybe I've got to listen here and just change something.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is cool. It's cool. It's still the answer that I asked for. So yeah.
All right. Now,
thank you.
Now, speaking of answers, Jan's got a card here for Jess, I believe. So Jan, just click on, and I'm going to try and I also invite other people too. I'm going to try and connect into the frequency of the card and Jess and see if I can add on to it. Okay.
I'm using the Dreams of Gaia deck, and I got the number 7, the Sage, you can see. And this card, what I sense is Jess may be going through a bit of confusion in the sense of trying to figure out what you believe, because there's, you have all sources of information. There's people telling you this and people telling you that, and maybe things that you read up on your own, and you're not quite sure what to follow or what to believe. And this card is telling you to, sometimes you don't have to wait for people to give you the information or knowledge. Sometimes you can take the initiative to tell your own story or to decide on your own, and the wisdom and the knowledge is within yourselves. And seek your guides for more guidance. You can be more proactive, and you can decide what the story is or what the knowledge is. You don't always have to take what other people tell you.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, Yan. I think it is a lot of maybe self-doubt, and I don't sort of, trust my intuition. I sort of look for other outside sort of help from others, sources and people to sort of not follow, but sort of get the answers for. So I think it's more about, just learning to trust myself more, and go on my own story and my own thoughts and feelings. So I can definitely relate to that. Thank you.
Just stay there too. Yan, was there anything else you wanted to add? Okay. Jess, what I got here for you as well is that if you're not already getting things through your dream state, you're going to get them. And they're actually, I could actually picture you here lying in bed. Can you just put your hand on your left hand ear? Yeah, that side. Yeah, it's like you're lying on your pillow. That's on that side down, and you placed an amethyst crystal or something underneath the pillow, and that was acting as like a little beacon or like an amplifier for the dreams to come through. And you're going to get more of them. But what they're finding they're going to do, if they can work initially with you through your dream state, because your mind is not as active and getting in the way, it will build up. It's like they're going to build the frequency. So it's not like you need to say keep an official dream diary, but just be aware that when you wake up, you may have been given something. So just as I'm just getting this as I'm saying it. So just as you wake up in the morning, just take yourself sort of back into the mood of sleep and see what was in there if you can't remember any dreams. Now, you may not get them every night. It might be every.
I've had them before where I'm coming out of like the sleep, out of the sleep state, and sort of still in that sort of very sleepy, hazy stage. And I do get some messages, like sometimes they're vocal messages, and other times it's like I'm still in that dream, and it will show me the dream very clearly. And then it's sort of reaches out that there's a message there.
Okay. And you'll probably get one or two dreams that'll really be really vivid, like you're awake. When that happens, just give them the acknowledgement. Hey, look, I got that one. That was pretty loud. you know? And they will know the right frequency for you to work in your waking state.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right. Okay. Good. Yan, just come to you for a sec. You asked a question back at the start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's suss out that guy that I met online.
All right. So, and other people, we're welcome to jump on to this.
Do you need his name and birthday?
No. It's not important for what I'm about to tell you anyway. All right. This is what I got. All right. Now, the answer to your question, the immediate answer to your question is not important right now. All right. That's the first thing. The answer will become apparent, but it's not what you need to know right now. Now, what they want you to do is they want you to develop a sense of understanding. You're in a position where you've got another human being coming towards you, and we're all divine beings. Okay, and this is something I'm saying to do with deep respect for another person. All right. What they want you to do is try and connect with the being of this person. Now, this isn't to do with romance. It isn't to do with anything quite of the nature of the question that you're asking, but they want you to open yourself up to knowing the being, like the higher being that is standing behind the profile that is presented to you. And it's an opportunity for you to understand human nature, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, or just different, because we're all different. Okay. I've got here, okay, I have got here to exercise a little bit of caution and to take soft, small steps. So that's a little bit of an orange light for me. Okay. But they still want you to take little steps. Okay. So I don't think this is the right person for you, because the words they have given me is for you to understand the nature of the beast. Okay. Now, it's not to say it's a figurative term, okay, but it's a very strong term. But it's a little bit about knowing who they are, but it's also going to be an exercise in you knowing who you are, because each of us have our own stuff. And this person is probably going to shine a little bit of light on your stuff, on your darker stuff. So you're going to find things within you that you need to work on and refine within yourself. So this is a little part of your own spiritual journey and your own spiritual becoming as well. So when I say the nature of the beast as well, normally when we meet someone and get, reasonably close with them, we see things sometimes that we don't like, but sometimes it's a reflection too. And I want you to be very mindful of what is a reflection. And sometimes it's a reflection of early childhood trauma or even karma or whatever, and be aware of feelings that it's like someone presses the button and something comes up, and just ask, okay, what is this? What is it? And what do I need to work on here? So this is a little bit about who you are and what's inside you, as well as getting to know the nature of another person. Does that make sense, Jan? So I don't think this is the right person for you, but I do think this is an ideal learning exercise and experience for both of you, and to work on a level of deep honor in doing this. Okay, does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Now, I'm not quite sure where we're going, but I just invite everyone to close their eyes, and we're about to find out. That's sort of how it rolls on here. So it's usually a short little visual that we get often to wrap up this session. So let's just go. So as we close our eyes, now, look, if you're new to meditating, this is a great little step. Normally, if you're brand new to meditating, 7 to 10 minutes is about the limit first time you start. So this is like a little practice at the end, like we've had a bit of a warm up, and now we are primed, hopefully, to go back in quite quickly. So as we close our eyes, and again, just be aware of the weight of your body where you sit. Now be aware of your breath. We're just relaxing our breath. We're moving from this social chit chat into something a little more deeply relaxed. And now we're aware once again of the light around us in our sacred space. It's been there, but we've sort of forgotten about it, but it is there. And also your higher self is still very much present in this space for a little bit longer before they go back upstairs. All right, now I'm getting a combination of things here depending on who you are. So your higher self is standing before you. And as everything that is on this earth has a spiritual counterpart. So the crystals have a spiritual counterpart, the oceans, all the elements. Even Earth, its physical Earth, has its spiritual counterpart, Gaia, who also has a higher counterpart as well, waiting for her at her destiny. Now your higher self is standing before you and has something in their hands. Now, for some of you, it is like, I got a picture, it must be like a handful of sage or a handful of some kind of a healing herb or a medicinal herb or something that you may need. And for others of you, it is holding like a crystal that has a certain intrinsic power with it. And for others of you, it is holding like a scroll that has some words in it. But each Each of your higher self is like they've come with something. Now, it could be a thought, it could be a feeling, it could be an answer, it could be a question. But they are there and they have this for you. And what I'd like you to do, you've got this golden doorway of your solar plexus. And I'd like you to now imagine that you again, your own personal soul is standing up from your physical body and is now just streaming through the portal back to your higher self and either accepting or absorbing or receiving the essence of this gift. Now, it is a little bit uncomfortable for us to live on Earth. You think of what you have in your life, and it's a little uncomfortable for your higher self to even come into your sacred space, because there's still a lot of Earth frequencies here. So there might be something you have to say to your higher self for being present before you right now. And just acknowledge them. Now, there is like an angelic kind of figure who is with you during all this, and they are working now to take your higher self back through the dimension to where you dwell almost unconsciously, and just wishing our higher self a safe journey back with the angelic form. And you can maybe even imagine them just almost dissolving, or like a mirage, resuming back to where they came from. And it's almost like the space around us is almost emptied to a degree, not totally, but there is a empty space, emptier space there. And just take another half step forward in your mind, standing in the space where your higher self was, for there is still a vibe there. And now you wrap the sheath of that vibration around you once more. It's like putting on a fine, light skin. And now step back through your solar plexus portal. And before you is your physical body and your life force there. The gift that you have, place it into your physical lap. Or it might be a crystal to go into a particular place, whether it's on your third eye or your crown or wherever. Just be appropriate with what you have. And now just turn around, and your own soul sitting back now, comfortably back into your physical body, as comfortable as it is to be here. Just be aware, particularly of your head. And some of you actually need to breathe through your third eye for a moment to release some of the pressure. And now just imagine your legs coming back into harmony with your physical, your soul legs with your physical. A few little breaths just to center yourself, to reconnect. Now, first of all, a moment of gratitude. So a thank you first of all, to yourselves personally for making the effort to do this, to your higher self, to the angelic beings who helped work and provide the space around you, and to work behind the scenes with the whole group. And in turn, just on behalf of the group, Great Divine Spirit, we give our thanks for all that has been provided to us, the pictures, the meditations, which did come from a divine place. We give our thank you for our celestial being who travelled dimensions to be here and to find us, and for the contributions each of us have made. We give our thanks. Put your hand over your sacral chakra area and your solar plexus area, because we have opened up to all the emotions of the world which can burn us a bit, so we're going to shut down a little. So your sacral chakra, we're going to take in a big long breath and hold our breath. So take in a big long breath, draw it right in, fill right up, then hold your breath when you're full. Imagine your sacral chakra just slowing down, resuming back to its normal size and speed. And then on the out breath, we are releasing and severing all psychic, emotion, and energetic connections that no longer serve our higher good. And I physically use my hands to create like a cut, a separation. Some of you may actually need to do that 2 or 3 times if you've got a lot of stuff going on. And then one last little bubble of spiritual light wrapping around you, sealing in all the good stuff, keeping out the nasties. And that pretty much brings this little session to a close. So thank you all very, very much. If anyone has a little question or a comment or would like to click your mic on at the end, more than welcome to. Yeah, just click on.
I'll just say a massive thank you. I'm glad I found you in the group, and I'll see you again. Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, you got that light shining through.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're our Aussie version of Ronnie, I think. Just that light. No, I've mentioned to Ronnie before, and you've got this similar quality that you just need to walk through a crowd, switch on your conscious spiritual awareness, and you can heal people, just by bringing through a certain vibration. It's something all of us can do, but it's something you've actually done before somehow, somewhere. Yeah, you've got this concern for humanity that is written on you. Okay, and it goes far beyond yourself. All right, and that's part of the reason you're not in this group, but you're here on Earth. All right, there's a higher purpose why you're here. Okay, and we need it, or other people really, 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 really need it. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah.
You know it's true.
Yeah, I can feel. I feel a little bit. I don't know, disconnected where everything is and how I fit into it.
Oh, look,
and what I'm doing here, because it just feels like everyone's walking on another sort of vibration. Yeah.
There's a French word, I don't normally use this very often, but there's a French term. It's called a shit fight, and we're in this real shit fight at the moment.
Yes, I'm aware of this. Yes. Yeah, but nobody seems to be where I am, and they don't seem to feel it, or I just want to know what I'm here sort of to do, and that's my concern. That's just lingering.
All right.
Just nothing else. Like, I'm not after anything else. Just that connection.
Yeah. All right. Look, I feel it too. Look, even knowing the little bit that I do know, I'm really feeling it at the moment because of the change that's going on. And it is like we are walking in a different world to most others. Now, because you're pretty new here, I'm not sure. I went back through some of my event listings, and my YouTube channel isn't listed on some of them. Now, if it's not on the Melbourne one, message me, but you in particular should go back and listen to some of the pre-recordings from the last 2 months or so, and they're really going to help you. Just pick one midweek and just go. It's like homework to catch up.
Will do, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. And just get back on here when you can, okay?
Thanks.
All right.